All right, my man, state your name and let them know you on Real Talk with Nick.
It's Terrence, Harlem, New York. Real Talk with Nick.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I see you got that basketball, man.
Yep.
I mean, if you was trying out for a team, man, hopefully it would be for the New York Knicks, man.
No, I wouldn't shy away from that challenge. I wouldn't at all. I mean, it'll be a dream come true because I'm from New York. I'm from Harlem. Like, I work by Madison Square Garden, so it'll be a dream of mine to play for the Knicks. But
Oh, my man. So, I ain't even got to ask you, Knicks fan.
Yeah. I've been following the Knicks. Listen, my first NBA game was 2004 in the Garden. Stephon Marbury, Jamal Crawford. You know that little squad, Eddie Curry and all of them. Yeah. So it's like I've been a fan of this for the longest. I've been a fan of the Knicks for the longest. It's just that the organization itself, like the upper management and all that, it's like
right.
So
but hopefully we can get shit turning around with the good, staff we got. We got new players. I mean, we got a relatively young team, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need. We need young, hungry guys. On top of that, we need the veterans. You got Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, R.J Barrett. He trying to be an all-star this year.
Now, before we get into all that, because you're jumping into the Knick pool, and I love it, man. We're going to get wet together. All right? No homo, y'all. Let's not go nowhere yet. You know how motherfuckers get. They run with shit. But let's start it off, man. Who's your favorite player on the Knicks, man?
Who's my favorite player on the Knicks right now? It's between I like Julius Randle. I like his game. It's just that he needs the right pieces around him. He needs, and on top of that, like for the last couple of years, he's been messing up because they've been getting rid of like a lot of key players for him. Feel me? A lot of
when you say key players,
a lot of 3-and-D players, because that's how Thibodeau runs. He runs, all defensive plays and everything. Like, you feel me? So it's like you have a guy like Julius Randle with you. You got to sit up there and put the right people around him. You can't have him as the centerpiece, because if he's the centerpiece, all the attention is on him. So you're putting all the pressure on him to mess up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's like if you had a guy like Reggie Bullock, feel me? If Julius Randle is doing his thing or whatever, I'm passing it out. You know what I'm saying? And look what he did in Dallas.
Okay.
Look what he did in Dallas for that team. He went over there and they made it Western Conference Finals. And that's the thing that the Knicks keep doing. You keep getting rid of people that we actually need, that we can actually use moving forward. Evan Fournier, he was good. Like, we got bodies. We got good bodies.
So let's stick with Julius Randle. Are you telling me that, when we speak of Julius Randle critics, right?
Right.
And they call him out for turning over the rock, playing like a point guard when he's not that.
That's not him.
But you saying he was forced to play that?
In a way, yeah. Because if you look at the pandemic Julius Randle compared to now, you see the difference. You get rid of certain guys around him because he plays a certain way. And that's the thing that the Knicks is failing to do. You're not paying attention to the things that's working. You're not building around Julius Randle. You're not building around R.J Barrett. Right? You made a good acquisition with Jalen Brunson. That's a good pickup, because you need a guard that's going to sit up there and facilitate the ball and take the ball out of Julius Randle's hands, because he don't need the ball all the time.
Right.
He's not LeBron. He's not KD. He's not AD. You know what I'm saying? So he shouldn't be up there. He should be Bully Randle. He should be in the post doing what he do best. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
It's like all that. All right, he's the focal point. He's the center. All right, cool. But you need more pieces around him. It's not going to work with just Julius Randle and a bunch of guys you think that's going to fit with him. You know what I'm saying? So it's the communication has always been off with the Knicks organization.
Okay.
Between the head coaching, the front office. I don't gotta tell you, you've been
right.
You've been at this longer than me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And when we speak of Julius Randle shedding weight, because I know you've seen him.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Do you think that's needed if you want a player like that to be in the post and play bully ball? Did he shed too much weight?
I believe you can still shed weight but still maintain strength. You can still do that. It's just you gotta eat right diet, right type of training and everything. But for the most part, you've seen plenty of players shed weight and still dominate. You've seen LeBron do it. You've seen Melo do it. You've seen James Harden. He just did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shedding weight. You need to be able to be faster in the paint. That gives you a certain level of advantage. And at the same time, if he's smaller, then he can get to the bucket quicker on his opponents. You know what I'm saying? And he's still strong. He's not, just because you lose weight doesn't mean you're still puny or you're still soft or anything. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not worried about that. Really.
Okay. All right, moving right along, man. R.J. Barrett, man.
Right.
Is this going to be the year where he shows out, man, due to the fact that we got a point guard and Jalen Brunson, man?
Yeah, absolutely. He got a point to prove. You know what I'm saying?
And what you think one of his points to prove, man? We speak of R.J.
He said it himself that he's trying to become an all-star this year. He's trying to become an all-star. I would think he want to become first NBA down the road. Like, he just started, and I see a lot of potential in that young man. You know what I'm saying? So,
would you high on him during his rookie season?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was a great pickup for the Knicks. They needed a guy like R.J. Barrett. It's just that he needs time to develop. And I've seen it through his first season, his second season, and now he's coming into his third, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I do feel like he's going to sit up there and at least become an all-star this year. A surprise all-star in my opinion.
Okay. And you say you see an elevation in each season when we speak of R.J. Mm-hmm. What did you see in the second season that you didn't see in his first?
First season, he was getting comfortable. You're a rookie, so you're going to get, beat down. You got to get used to the way things are. This isn't college anymore. It's NCAA. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, first season, it was like he showed promise. Second season, he improved a little bit. He started shooting more. He started taking on a more prominent role within the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? This season, I expect him to do the same thing, but at the same time, elevate every single point, every single part of his game, because he's going to be a key point when it comes to him running with Julius Randle, running with Jalen Brunson. They need to run. They need to keep running. They need to keep going, because you're trying to keep up with teams that you should be able to beat in the playoffs. I feel like they should be able to hold their own with the Hawks. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they should be able to hold their own this season with at least Miami for at least 6 games. I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, they're going to make it to the chip. No, it's baby steps.
Right. Did you see the last 2 preseason games with the Knicks?
No, I've actually been working on all that. I ain't been catching it up.
Okay.
Catching up on it, but for the most part, I heard they smoked the Pacers.
They smoked the Pacers, and they smoked Detroit too.
They smoked Detroit. You see, that's team.
And he had Obi Toppin, coming from the second unit. He had 24 points, man.
Obi Toppin.
Talk to me about Obi, man.
Obi, because it's like,
who does he remind you of, man? Let's start there.
He reminds me of like a more athletic Stoudemire, in a way. Ooh. like a because the way he just carries himself. Like if you look at Stoudemire's rookie year with the Suns and you look at Obi Toppin now, you see a little bit of a comparison. In a way, I might be bugging, but
no.
That's what I see. That's what I see.
Yeah, okay.
So like,
I was about to pull up Amori's name and actually, do you agree that his game kind of emulates? I mean, not to the full effect. So you on the right? I mean,
speaking of like getting bigger and getting stronger, he's one of those people that if he got a little bit more bigger, a little bit more tougher in the paint, he's going to be a problem for everybody. For everybody in that paint, he's going to be. I'd say he'll be like a top maybe 20 when he's done. If he really puts in pain and he really locks in, I see that for him.
Okay.
I really see that for him.
All right. And what's his strength? Because some say, oh, he's only good for running fast break. You agree with that? Like he's just a fast break player.
He's quick on his feet for a big man. I'll give him that. And he runs. So when you want transition, you want a guy like that on your team. You just go alley-oops, lobs, and all that. Like,
and that's what we saw, man. That's what we saw. Windmills between the legs, going up, like.
Listen, when Obi was in the dunk contest, I already knew he was on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's really showing. He's going to really show out this year. I promise you that. He's going to be one of those players. There's a lot of players in the league that's going to show out, but he's one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when we speak of players like Emmanuel quickly, man.
Right.
Who some thought was going to have the driver's seat. They thought he was going to have the key to run the show when we speak of point guard.
Right.
Because, in college, he ran that position, but he's a combo guard, man. Right. So my question to you, man, do you think he'll thrive more in the second unit being, dude up with Derrick Rose? Or should he be starting, man? Did the Knicks jump the gun and acquire Jalen Brunson too soon? Not to take nothing away from his game, but some say Emmanuel quickly, man, if you would develop him, he's not too far from a...
I mean, how long he's been in the league? Like a couple years now,
like
right?
3 years.
3 years.
I say 3.
About 2-3 years, I say, right?
Right.
So it's like you got to give certain players time to develop, because everybody's not going to sit up there and come into the league and be that guy. That's been the thing that I would say I would critique Knicks fans of. You got to give certain people time.
No, a lot of Knicks fans agree with you, bro.
Yeah.
But it's the organization,
I understand. It's a double-sided coin. So it's like you got people that's going to sit up there and say, "Oh, why did you pick him up? He's not the guy. He's not the guy we need." But then in a couple years, it's like, "Oh, we love that guy. We want him." We did that with Kristaps Porzingis. Look what happened. Like he ended up leaving because of the organization, but at the same time, what happened at draft night? They was booing him,
Right.
And then we loved him for how many seasons?
Right. And then we went throwing darts at his face.
And we started throwing darts at his face. But that's the mess behind the front office of the Knicks. That's here and on there. When you play here, we love you. If you play hard, pause and do what you gotta do. But at the same time, it's like you can smell the BS, bro. This is not a city where you can come here and think everything is sweet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that fourth, you say that and Emmanuel quickly is gonna step his game up too?
I'll say he's gonna step his game up.
Can you get that 6th man of the year, man?
He might. I wouldn't shy away from that prediction. Like I wouldn't shut that down at all. He might win 6th man of the year.
Does he remind you of a player in the NBA?
Currently, like, can I compare him to somebody? I'd say he's like a couple steps below Tyrese Maxey. I'll compare those two for the simple fact is that they both play hard and they both good guards. Really both good guards, and I feel like in a couple years,
I seen him play with man. Quickly broke Tyrese Maxey ankles, man.
He broke his.
Like crossover.
No. I'm not. It's not a comparison. It's a role comparison. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Tyrese Maxey's role on the Sixers compared to.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like on his side, on Tyrese Maxey, he's good. He's good. He got James Harden. He's got Joel Embiid. He's got a whole squad of them. So it's like with quickly, eventually he's going to develop. He needs like real. That team needs veterans. They need veterans. There's been so many players that I wanted him, like certain players I wanted to go over there and play for the Knicks and everything. But it's like, nah, I wouldn't blame everybody for not, wanting to play over here because, like I said, the organization.
Right.
But, yeah.
And when we speak of a coach like Tom Thibodeau, man.
I like Thibodeau. I always like Thibodeau.
You don't think he overrun his players, man? Some say, you know what? I mean, his rotations needs to switch up.
Yeah, I believe he's stuck in his ways. He could be stuck in his ways, but that's been his thing. That's always been his thing when he was in Boston as assistant. When he was assistant coach with Doc Rivers. When he was with the Bulls. When he was with the Timberwolves. It's always been his thing. So he's not going to switch up. So I don't know. I really think, and you can quote me on this, head coaching wise, I always like Mark Jackson as a coach. I've always liked him as a coach. He's part of the reasons why the Golden State Warriors switched up.
Right.
Because what do you think Steve Kerr piggybacked over?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I always liked Mark Jackson as a coach. I always thought that he should have been one of the top names to be a Knicks coach.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion.
Okay, and I'm going to bring up a player from the G League, man. So some say he shouldn't even have been in there. McBride, man. McBride, I think in his first preseason game with the Detroit Pistons, I think he had, 7 points, 6 steals, 3 or 4 assists, something like that. Like,
yeah, good game.
Do you think he's underrated, man? Because some say he's one of the best defensive players on the Knicks.
Me personally, I don't think anybody's underrated. If you're able to put that performance up in any level, college, G League, overseas, NBA, it doesn't matter. You're not overrated. And plus, if you can do that consistently, then yeah, you're a problem. You're a problem, or you have the potential to be a problem if you put in enough work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, I don't think he's underrated. Everybody got room to grow. I mean, you in the G League for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It's a step. Everything is a step.
Okay. And when we speak of centers, man,
right? You
got centers like Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims, man.
Right.
You think this is gonna be a big year for Mitch?
There gotta be.
He's saying he got a behind the arc game that he's trying to develop. Mm-hmm. Even though it looked like he was trying to force it in the first preseason game, like he's trying to let people know I got it instead of letting it.
He testing the temperature. He testing the water to see if everything, because how you practice on the court is different from in the actual game. So you want to see, all right, how does this acclimate? How did all of this work translate to me in the actual game, shooting and. So it's development. You got to test.
Do you think a big game? I mean, a behind the arc game is needed for a big man, or any big game in the NBA? Some say, you know what, play the post versus the shooting like Curry, man.
That's the tradition. You know, you want your big man to be in the post, but nowadays you got everybody trying to shoot threes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what you gonna do? Everybody's gonna try to shoot. Some people can, some people can't.
Okay. Okay. And last but not least, man, did you see the game between the Knicks and the Hawks when the Knicks was the 4th seed?
Right.
Did you see that series? Who gets the blame, man? We was busting the Hawks' ass all year round, man. Come the postseason, some say, it's a different league when you play in the post, man. What happened, man?
I think the pressure got to them. That series, because you got to remember, they was used to not playing with crowds. That was the pandemic season, right?
Right.
They was playing in the bubble, playing with all the fans. Then when it translated to the actual arenas, everybody started coming inside. Then the pressure. Now you got to hear all of the talk. Now you got to hear all of the bulls and the chairs and everything. It's different. That's why the bubble was cool, but it wasn't NBA basketball. That was rec center 2K basketball. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Could that be the reason why Julius Randle had a great season? Because there was no fans?
Yeah.
So you don't think
you don't have the distractions. It's just straight basketball. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to deal with somebody yelling in your ear that you don't even know. It's different. It's different environments. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, they won. I mean, well, they lost or whatever, but it's like, I can't really blame them a whole lot because they wasn't used to that. It was so that squad was so used to focus. Now you have all the extra shit.
Right.
My language.
Yeah, no, you good. Real talk, man.
Yeah.
And this is the nail in the coffin, man. Jalen Brunson, man.
Right.
What do you expect from him? Because I know you heard the big talk.
Right.
Now we brung him $109 million. Some say he's not worth that money. Some say he's too small of a guard, to compete with other guards in the East like Drew Holiday and so forth. I mean, what's your input, man?
To whoever say that, I don't see anybody else going to the Western Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? I don't see. Like you look at what he did with Dallas. Look what he did with Dallas.
So what's his strength? Break it down.
He's a good facilitator. Because if you really look at his game, he's the perfect guard that you would need. But people are not going to like him because he's not a Chris Paul, or he's not a Ja Morant, or he's not a Westbrook, or you know what I'm saying?
Everybody got their different games.
Everybody got their different games, but for the most part, by default, you need a guard that can facilitate. If he can facilitate, then he can get the ball to the guys that need the ball where they're at, like where they want it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he could do that with Julius Randle. He could do that with R.J Barrett. He could do that with.
Okay, Jalen Brunson is the best Knick guard since.
Best Knick guard since.
Marbury, Jason Kidd, Nate
maybe,
Robinson,
maybe old Kid,
Felton.
Maybe
I mean,
Raymond Felton. He's Raymond Felton. Shit, Steve Francis. He was here for a little bit. Jeremy Lin.
Okay, put him there with that. All right.
I'll put him in that long list of needed guards. Long list of needed guards.
Okay.
We've always had guards, but we never knew what to do with them, or they just didn't flourish because of whatever. So.
And how did you feel about this Donovan Mitchell situation, man? All the Donovan Mitchell talk, with him not coming, were you disappointed?
I saw that as a middle finger from Danny Ainge. That's all I saw it as, because he was supposed to come here. He's from New York. You know what I'm saying? So he was supposed to come here. Danny Ainge was like, nah, I want to let me screw over the Knicks again because it's the Knicks.
Right.
But I really felt like he should have came here. That was crazy, but
do you think that would have messed up the Knicks bench?
Messed up the Knicks bench? It depends on who they gave up. I always say you give up Julius Randle, you give up R.J. Barrett, you give up Obi Toppin, you give up Mitchell Robinson. I'm done with you. I'm done with the Knicks. You can't. Those are your guys. To me, those are your guys. You can't get rid of those guys. So if even if they would have traded quickly, Grimes, Jericho, they probably could have got something over him, but at the same time, it's like the Knicks didn't have a lot to work with when it comes to a trade, especially with a guy like Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
you think it's good the way it turned out? Keep the core. All right, my man.
I think that they're trying to build through the draft and really kind of do something that like the Nets was doing, because the Nets had a lot of picks at one point, and then they turned all of that into Kyrie and KD. You know what I'm saying? They build a culture over there. They build a team that can actually go to the playoffs, even though they didn't have, top stars and everything. They still had like guys like Dinwiddie, LeVert, big dude, I forgot his name, Barrett. You know what I'm saying? So they it's building a culture. I feel like that's what the Knicks are trying to do now.
My man, that's what it is, man. I want to thank you for coming on Real Talk with Nick in the Hall of Harlem, man. I had stopped my man. He was getting this basketball thing going on, man.
I put in a little work. You know what I'm saying? Before it get cold out here,
Oh, yeah, you already know, man. So. And that's what it is, man. We out. Peace.